I'm old enough now that for me and my group of friends, any guy in my group of friends that still can't like get a girlfriend or something, like now it's very clear that it's because of jarring personality flaws. You know what I mean? Because this is the thing, we were all awkward. So I was 15, I'm an awkward man, but I still figured out parts of life. You know what I mean? So then I'll talk to some of my friends like, man, you just can't figure women out. And I'm like, nah, dog, you 30. Like this is something should be happening. You know what I mean? You can't just be like, I'm scared to talk to girls because women are afraid of you. Like I don't know what you need to be doing. I don't know if you need therapy or sunlight, but like something has got to give if we gonna keep hanging out. You know? And I think I found one really important thing that's probably one of the biggest things when you move out. Like as a guy, when you go out into the world on your own for the first time to make something of yourself, and when you have your first like domain, right? Your first place where you're like, this is my place. Whether it's an apartment, a house, whatever you have. It's so important. As men, we have to, I cannot stress this enough, we have to invest in at least one stick of furniture, all right? Like, a lack of furniture is killing us out here. Everything cannot be on the floor. I can't say it enough, everything cannot be on the floor. Because when you bring a woman back to your place and then she opened the door and then you walk in and she sees a bowl on the floor, she's like, ooh, okay, he gonna kill me. I picked wrong, that was my bad. He didn't even have a murdery face, but a bowl on the floor makes it look like she not gonna be here long and neither are you. This is where you bring people to kill people. It just, I can't stress it enough. I know that we don't care. We don't care. We're happy. It takes very little for us to be happy. We're happy. But if you plan on having any female companionship, I don't even mean sex. If you just plan on having female friends, then you need to be able to put your things on things. Like, that's not a crazy ask. Just, it's the amount of the amount of friends I have that don't have a chair is so I understand if you don't have a dining set. I understand if you don't have a bunch of chairs, but you live here. Don't you want to sit? Like, this is just one chair. I don't know. Please don't put your books on the floor. Please do not put your books on the floor. You could have the thickest books. You could have War and Peace and Paradise Lost next to each other. But if they are on the floor, she's going to be like, he can't read. He can't read. That's a door stop. That's not, he not cracking that open. That's a paperweight. No? You don't even need books. If you had a bookshelf and put 2 magazines on it, she'd be like, what a cultured individual. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, the amount of friends I have that are oblivious about this. Like, I'll have a buddy call me. I'll ask him about his day. I'm like, how'd your day go? He's like, man, it was all right. We were having a good time. Went out for dinner and everything. Then she get back to my place. She want to get all uppity and leave. I was like, you brought her to your place. You brought her to the place that we hang out. You brought her to the place that I've been, where you live, where you sleep. I'm surprised she didn't call the police. Because that's my thing. It's just, where your things are in relation to the floor is where it looks like you are in life. So I'm just saying, just elevate. Just to table height. Just elevate. There are good men. There are good-looking men that are good men that are a good table away from a good woman. All right? You're so close. It's not even your personality. It's the fact that it looks like you live outside, inside. That is what is doing you in. I get it. I was broke. When I moved to Chicago, I had no money. And I got my first place, and I slept on an air mattress, which was the floor. The air separating you between the floor and where you are, that's not real bed. That's floor. It is floor. I can admit that. That's floor, right? So I was sleeping on the floor with some comfort, okay? So I get it. when you go out into the world on your own for the first time, make something of yourself, you may not have all the money, you may not come from money, you may not have resources. I'm not telling you to get the whole IKEA setup immediately or anything. I'm just saying you should have enough furniture that if you bring a woman back to your place, you have just enough going on to look like you were robbed. That's all I'm saying. Just when you bring her back to your place and you have to make the bookshelf everything, you gotta make it the kitchen cabinet, so then she sees a bunch of forks on the bookshelf and her face starts to screw up, you can turn around and be like, they got me. They got me. I knew this wasn't a good neighborhood, okay? Let's go to your place where it's safe, baby girl. Do you know what I mean? Okay. I have to leave soon. Did y'all see the Alaska flight? The Alaska Airlines, okay, if you didn't see it, basically a piece of window popped off of the flight, mid-flight, it was still flying, it was still in the air, and some window came off, and then just a bunch of plane came off, like a door's worth of plane, it might have been the door, a door's worth of plane came off, and I have been so shaken because we've been shitting on Spirit for a minute. We really let Spirit have it all, and they have not had one of these happen. The whole plane get there with you when you fly Spirit. Like the plane that left is the plane that arrives, and you. That didn't seem like a lot to ask before, but now you really gotta wonder, right? And it just is so crazy because I know there were people screaming in videos and people crying and stuff like that, but by and large, everybody was so calm. It makes me wonder if if it's an American thing, if we are so bloody, if we are just so traumatized from life in America that a plane can start to come apart mid-flight and you're like, well, I did pay $68, so I guess that's fair. That makes sense. I didn't pay for the whole plane to get here. You know what I mean? I paid for just me. And right now, I'm still headed there. So I guess they're fulfilling their contractual obligation to get me somewhere. I don't know. I guess I didn't pay to survive. I just gave them the money to get on. So that's my. I should specify next time that I want to get there in one piece as well as the plane. Yeah. Blown away. Because that's the worst airline for it to happen on. Because they don't, imagine if you taking a nap. You mid-nap, right? Because you got a nap on an Alaskan flight. You have to, because they don't have the TVs. They don't have the TV, so the only thing to entertain you is your dreams, all right? So then you go to sleep, and then you wake up, and everybody's screaming, and it is louder, right? It is just louder in here now and a little cold because we are in space. That is way too high to be losing some plane. You know what I mean? And everyone was so calm, even in the post-interview after when they landed and then they were asking people what it felt like, what was happening. There was one woman, I understand that she was probably nervous and so she was nervous giggling, but there was one woman who was acting like it was a Six Flags ride. Like she was just like, yeah, and then a little piece came off, and then, I don't know, we were all like, what do we do? You know, and like, I don't know, I had no idea. Like, it was so crazy. This had never happened before. Like, has it happened to you before? I don't know. I've been on Greyhound buses where people got more upset about a dump in the bathroom than these people got about a piece of plane flying off. As Americans, we gotta start acting like we used to something. Like this is really distressing that they beat us bloody so much in our travel experiences that we're like, yeah, I guess I'll choose aisle from now on. Do you know what I mean? That's what's up. Because then one of the most amazing things, this is a miracle. That there's genuine miracle. I'm very happy that no one on the flight was hurt. But then there were two seats. The two seats next to where the plane decided to stop being a plane, those two seats were empty because those two people missed their flight, which is incredible, right? You love a story like that. It does make me wonder about that third person, because that means that third person was sitting there. Like, did they take a nap and just wake up like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, where do you go from here? Okay, so I'm going to Montana this weekend, and both my flights were Alaska. Both of them were Alaska, and I didn't even have enough self-respect to switch airlines. They had to call me. They had to call me. At midnight last night, they had to call me and be like, it's not gonna happen, dog. Like, that's the closest to a breakup I felt in a long time. Like, I didn't have the self-respect to leave, and then they had to be like, you not for us, okay? I was fired from being in a gang. They kicked me out because I was too positive. They were like, why you always smiling, dog? I'm like, I mean, none of us are dead or in jail, and we're a gang. They also kicked me out because I apologized too much. Our drive-bys sounded like, sorry. Like, that's... After a while, I saw their point, you know? And even when it came down to it, and they were kicking me out, and I was like, I just want to hang out with my friends, and you guys are my friends, and now I don't know what I'm gonna do. Why do I have to leave? And they were like, bro, you giggle. You just like a bad influence, dog. You know what I mean? Like, you over here bringing in puppies and lemonade and like... I have friends who are trying to date in New York and stuff, and especially my female friends will talk to me about their troubles trying to date in like metropolitan city, trying to date in the age of the apps and everything. And I even had one friend, she came to me with this list, and it was the list of everything that she wanted in a guy, you know? And I told her honestly, because I care about her, I need you to take that list and throw it in the trash, all right? Burn it if you have to, if that will help you forget the memory. I'll tell you right now, there's only 3 things. There's only 3 attributes that you could hope for in a guy that you're gonna make a partner. There's only 3. You need to pick 2, okay? You need to pick 2 of those 3. Whichever 2 you can live with. And move on, because you're not gonna get all 3. I hate it for you, but it's not gonna happen. I'll go over them right now. There's good dick, good person, got his shit together. You need to pick 2 of those 3. Whichever 2 work for you, and move on. And if he has 1, leave. Don't let a 1 ruin your life. Just 1? Honestly, I have friends complain to me about their 1s, and I'm falling asleep listening to the story because it's just boring. It's like, well, you told me you had 1 to begin with, so what are we really talking about? If he's just a good person, doesn't have good dick, doesn't have his shit together, just a good person, that's a friend. Like, that's... Y'all can hang out on the weekends, go to museums. I don't know why you're trying to force more, you know?
if he's just good dick. Just good dick. Not a good person. Doesn't have a shit together. Just good dick. That's literally a dildo. That's what a dildo is for. Why are you stressed out? Make a mold of his dick in his sleep and leave. Nobody puts their vibrator back in the drawer like, Eva got my birthday. Like, that's... It's not gonna happen if you treat it like what it's for. Because you're not gonna get all three. And I hate it for you. I really do. Sincerely. And every time I have this conversation with my friends, sometimes they get upset. Not every time. Sometimes they do get upset. And they're like, no. No, he has all three. No. No, he has all three. I know it. I feel it. I feel it here and here and here. No. He has all three. If you really think he has all three, he's gonna kill you. All right? That is a murderer putting on a facade, okay? I'm sure all 33 women thought Ted Bundy had all three, you know? And like, no, Ted, it's just nice, you know? It's just nice to meet a guy that, like, has his shit together as a lawyer and everything, and, like, knows his way around the bedroom, knows how to listen. Why are you looking at me like that? Oh, like, that's how it went every time. You want to know what bothers me? What really upsets me? What even scares me a little bit? I don't know which two I am. Because I don't get to decide, you know? That's another person's decision about me. I'm scared I'm gonna be laying back with my girl years from now, right? Years from now, just laying back, we're talking about this, and I lean over to her, and I'm like, I'm good dick and a good person, right? And she's like, you have a great job, all right?